Hey, Daver here. Welcome to the show.
Hey, this guy's Chad.
And Chandler's back as well for another round of AEW pay-per-view predictions, this time for Revolution this Sunday night. Are we excited for the show, guys? Or are we kind of...
I personally am crazy excited. I think this is the best pay-per-view build they've done, quite possibly so far, if not since at least 2021.
I feel like it's been so steady, the build, apart from the FTR BCC tag match, which after watching Dynamite, I feel it has settled in to being not so rushed. Yeah, everything's been built real steadily, thoroughly, and I'm really excited for it. And then the whole point of the pay-per-view essentially is Sting's retirement. That's going to be the big focus, the big celebration. But yeah, unbelievable. Good card. The only downside, we're not getting our Meat Madness match.
Negative 5-star show. I don't care anymore. Thumbs down. I'm kidding. I'm so excited.
Tony had to put it on ice. But we are getting a all-star 8-man scramble. So far, 6 of the 8 competitors have been announced. We've got Will Ospreay versus Tenosuke Takeshita. We've got Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson battling for the Continental Crown. We've got the AEW Women's World Championship match, Toni Storm versus Deanna Purrazzo. We've got the international title being defended, Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. We've got Christian Cage defending the TNT title versus Daniel Garcia. Then we've got the triple threat match for the AEW World Championship, Samoa Joe versus Hangman versus Swerve Strickland. And looks like we've also got FTR versus Jon Moxley and Claudio. And we've got the AEW World Tag Team Championship match and the final match of Sting. Sting and Darby versus Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. Loaded card. The Sting Young Buck match, when they first were hinting at that being a thing, I think all 3 of us were kind of like, but it really came into full fruition and is, I think, going to be a worthy way for Sting to go out. Yeah, from what I understand, he specifically requested it. And I'd really love to know what drove him to pick them.
They're
specifically.
I don't have this opinion, but they're quite regarded as one of the greatest tag teams of all time, if not the greatest tag team of all time. So if he's A, not going out in a singles match, and B, wanting to pick the best tag team he can find, I think the Young Bucks is the best one. Because if, like, say you picked FTR, this would be a very boring story of, oh, who's the better team? And I'm not really interested in that. So this team of the Young Bucks on a crusade against the legends of AEW, and Sting's their first target because he's their oldest, that I like it. And this has gone from the possibility of the Young Bucks winning. For me, I was like vehemently against that. I was like, that's stupid. That'll be awful. And now, as we get into our predictions, if that happens, I have faith in them that it'll work out and that they'll tell a good enough story and that'll have a good enough conclusion. So I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, from a couple of months ago to like, oh God, where's this going to where we are now, which is, I don't even care about the result. It's just going to be awesome either way. Yeah. So well done.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Do you want to get into our first match of the pay-per-view?
Sure. I'll try to go in some sort of order, like importance on the card, least to most, and I'll end with what I think will be the main event. But I'm sure we're all on the same page on what we think will be the main event.
Oh yeah,
But
OC for sure.
yeah. It'll be the Takeshita match because it's Takeshita. Anyways, starting off with the All-Star Scramble match, the Rest in Peace Meet Madness. It'll be confirmed. Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Christopher Jericho, Hook, Brian Cage, and then it will either be, we've said this a million times, Magnus or Matt Sydal, who are fighting on Rampage, or Penta, Dante Martin, and Brian Keith, who are fighting on Collision. Now, do we want to do prop bets for who we think will win those matches? Because we're recording this on Thursday, so we don't know. Or do we want to just say who we think will win the match?
Let's do, well, how about a prop bet for each of the matches to determine the qualifier? 1 point each.
Okay. So we'll start with the Matt Sydal versus Magnus. Who's winning that match on Rampage?
I got Sydal for 1.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah. I don't think they would bring a CMLL guy to lose on the pay-per-view, and that's the only one on the entire show. So I think we're all 1 point for Sydal.
Okay.
How about that triple threat on Collision?
That one's harder to call.
If I were to break it down like we do the actual match, I want Brian Keith, but Penta is who I think will do it. So I'm going to pick Penta.
1 point for Penta for Dave. How about you, Chad?
I feel like the bounty hunter is gonna need a win. He hasn't had a real good win yet, so he's gonna go get his meat scrambled in the all meat scramble match.
I feel like being a little against the mold here. I want to pick Brian Keith, but I'm gonna pick Dante Martin.
Why not?
I hear he's
back. Why the hell not? So I'll take Dante Martin. This is just for a point. So we all agree for Rampage, and we all have a different answer for Collision. Why not?
Like that. Right. Cool.
So let's get into the actual scramble match. I'll start with my prediction. Of course, this is the typical 2 points on who you think will win, 1 point for who you want to win, but you could do all three if both of those line up. I'm going all three on Wardlow because this is the Wardlow match, and I think Wardlow should win the Wardlow match. So that's all 3 points on Wardlow for me.
Okay. For who I think will win for 2 points, Wardlow. Who I want to win for 1 point, although I did not pick him, it seems contradictory. As my prop bet, I'm picking Brian Keith for who I want to take it all.
That'd be mind-blowing.
1 point.
I'll put it on. So you're going 2 for Wardlow. You think he'll win, and 1 for you want Brian Keith. That would be a big win for Brian Keith. I mean, that's why I wanted to pick him, because I was like, oh, that would be at least a nice way to get him on pay-per-view. But I could see Dante Martin getting in there. But how are you feeling, Chad?
I think Wardlow's going to win because it is the Wardlow meat scramble match. But I actually really want Hobbs to win.
Okay, interesting.
Because, I mean, look at that dude.
That.
You got Don Callis slapping the man's titties, wouldn't you? So
fist bumping Osprey there in that other segment. Yeah, I think that dude's got such a high ceiling, and I just want to see him get to shine a bit.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. We'll move up one more spot. We got the Don Callis Civil War. Takeshita versus Will Ospreay. I'm going to go last on this one. Dave, who you got?
I'm going Ospreay all the way.
I think that is a smart bet. I I can't say how much I agree with the thought behind that. Chad, what do you got?
Yeah, Osprey all the way.
Any predictions on what my prediction is? Because it's all in on Takeshita, baby. Look,
Yep, I had no doubt.
I'm gonna sell it for half a second. What if this is how you get in babyface? You have Takeshita cheat to win. Obviously, that would snub Osprey's momentum, and it's stupid. But I don't care. I want Takeshita to win, so I'm going all in on
the
Takeshita.
Don Callis screwdriver or a microphone job.
Sure, why not?
The Don screw job.
Ooh. So again, we're recording it on Thursday. They could easily add some more matches, but this is the last non-title match so far for the pay-per-view.
Wow.
FTR versus BCC for, I'm assuming, the number one contendership. But they haven't announced it, but that would make sense for the rankings. Like, who gets the bigger win on the pay-per-view? They get to be the number one contenders. So
yeah, good setup for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. I can start this one. I'm going all in on FTR. I'm not really feeling this match, but in my mind, FTR is the established tag team, so I think they should win. And yeah, I guess I want them to win.
Huh, interesting.
I'm gonna split it a little. FTR are gonna get my 2 points, and Moxley Claudio are gonna get my 1 point. Just because I don't have any real skin in the game either way.
Yeah, this one is like, if BCC win, okay. If FTR win, all right.
Yeah,
I just know I'm gonna see a violent, bloody match. Moxley's gonna be, squirting blood out of his head or something.
Yeah, probably from Cash going after him like a honey badger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He just goes after Moxley every time they fight. It's great.
He knows Moxley will take it.
Yeah. I'm gonna, similar to Dave, but flip it.
Ooh.
Let's make it interesting.
Putting your 2 on BCC, 1 on FTR. All righty. Going against the grain. All right. Next up, we have the Continental Crown Championship. They did specify, because I'm always wondering this on Dynamite, it's for all 3 belts. I'll start this one. I'm split. I want Danielson to win it because I like him, and I'd like him to win some titles, but I think Kingston will win. So I'm putting 2 on Kingston, 1 on Danielson, because I don't think Kingston's losing, especially with the go-home maths on Dynamite, because Danielson got to choke him out. He's not going to do that twice.
Okay. For my 2 points, I think Danielson is winning. And I really deep down want Eddie to retain for the 1 point.
Little flip-a-dip. All right.
All righty. So I want Danielson to win. I think Eddie's going to win, but scenario for you. I think if Danielson wins, he's still going to shake Eddie's hand because Eddie's still going to win his respect.
I think that's the stipulation no matter what. I think they said that.
Oh, I thought that was if Eddie won, but
I thought it again. I think. I was gonna say, I think they specified it again on the Dynamite. We're like, it's the stipulation either way, but I could have misheard it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was if Eddie won and Brian had to shake his hand.
That would make more sense.
The other way around doesn't matter because Eddie respects Danielson.
Yeah. So my idea is Brian wins, but he still like gains Eddie or respects Eddie in the end.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right.
Such a great match that. Yeah. So what was yours, Chad? Want Brian?
Yeah. Think Eddie will win.
Yeah, He did what I did. 2 on Kingston, 1 on Danielson. Yeah. So next up, we have the battle. Oh,
I got a 1 point prop bet proposition.
Oh, right. Prop bet.
We get a nice, beautiful debut of Okada.
Ooh, so are you saying, are we getting Okada debut specifically because of this match or anywhere on Revolution?
Because of this match.
I'm saying, okay, all right. So we'll just say
1 point.
I'll just mark it as Okada debut, but it'll be comma parentheses for this Triple Crown match. So Dave, you're at a yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a no. I think they're gonna tell too many stories with the title triple threat and the women's match and the Sting retirement match. I think, and Will Ospreay's debut, and it'll be the fall part of the Don Callis family. I think it's too much for an Okada debut, but that's just me. How you feeling, Chad?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Okada's going to get his own thing, and it's still a little ways out. I think he still just recently finished with New Japan and is probably taking a little bit of time off before he jumps back in.
Just like Ospreay, he had his vacation. Okada will get one too. So
yeah, he's also going to go get pissed with Ospreay's wife.
Ooh, whoa! I didn't say it.
That's going to be the first feud. Listen here, bruv. I hear you fooling around with my wife, bruv.
You went to Barbados with my wife too, yeah? All right. So the Devil Dumpling Gang and the Best Friends War concludes, hopefully, for the love of God. We got Orange Cassidy defending his international title against Roderick Strong. Dave, who you got and why?
I think they're going to make the terrible move of making Roddy the new international champion, but I want Orange Cassidy to retain.
Yeah, right there with you.
You got the same thing, Chad?
Yep.
3 for 3. I got the same exact thing. I think Roddy will win because we're already talking about how he looks bad. If he loses, I think that's irredeemable.
Oh yeah.
I think it'd be like 4 years of Roderick doing garbage, and then he might get a funny gimmick and come out. But I agree with you guys. What's so funny is if you had said this match to me 3 months ago, like, oh, it's going to be Roderick for OC for the title, I'd be pissing my pants. I'd be wanting Roderick Strong to win because I loved him back then. But this Devil Dumpling Gang just ain't working out for him. But this will be the pivotal moment in turning the tide for the Devil Dumpling Gang. But a match I'm very, very, very excited for. Our father, Christian Cage, defends his TNT title. He's held it for 200 days, over 200 days. He hasn't lost it once. He'll be defending it against young upstart Daniel Garcia. Chad, who you got and why?
I got me I want Garcia to win, and I think he's going to. I think it's been too long. I think it's time. I also do have a prop bet at the end of this if you want.
Yeah. A prop bets on all of them. I got one for the tag team match, but that's about it. But we'll get to it. Dave, do you agree?
Well, I've got Cage all the way.
Cage all the way. You want him to retain. You hate love and children and happiness?
Mm-hmm.
You would boo me? A mother?
This is coming from the biggest Christian Cage fan, but I'm all in on Danny Garcia. This isn't like
shit.
I am. This isn't like the Takeshita thing. I unironically think this could catch a lot of momentum for Danny Garcia. And I think a lot of the championships are being retained on this show. But I think this is one where if it changed, it could be a lot. In this fresh start that people are saying AEW's on, this could be an unironic, like, good pivot to that. Like, it would feel fresh if Danny Garcia won. And he's over. He's a great wrestler. He can cut a good promo. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And then you have Edge and Christian do their blow off without the title. And then you don't need to have Christian do shenanigans. You can just have Copeland win. So I think it all works out. But Chad, what's your prop bet?
Well, you just kind of led into it. Is Cope going to interfere?
I have a prop bet similar also.
Okay, okay.
It's a little, mine's a little more specific.
Okay.
Um,
We'll see if we
Copeland
can
gets
merge them.
involved. Mine is Copeland gets involved and costs Garcia the match.
Oh.
Okay, so I think it's either we could do, does Copeland interfere at all, or does Copeland
Mhm.
interfere positively or negatively, i.e. positively?
Split it up.
Yeah. So two prop bets. Oh, okay. Will there be, I think do we all think he's gonna interfere?
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
I say
So-
we just do the will it be good or bad, because I think he's gonna
Okay.
interfere as well. So
Yeah.
will the Copeland interference be positive for Daniel Garcia or negative for Daniel Garcia? We'll just phrase it as that. And so Dave thinks he'll be
Negative.
costed the match.
Negative.
Chad?
Positive.
And I think I agree. I think that's a good way to have Danny win and not have it be. I mean, of course, I would love him to just win clean, but if you want to protect Christian Cage somewhat, I think that's a good way too. So I'll say positive as well. All right. Next up, the women's title match. Timeless Toni Storm defends her women's title against up-and-comer Deonna Purrazzo. Now, I'll start this one off as the biggest Toni Storm fan in the room. As much as I like Deonna Purrazzo and I like the story they're telling, it's really entertaining. I think there's no way in hell Toni Storm is losing this. I think you either have her lose to Monet or Thunder Rosa or like anyone else.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not the time for Deonna Purrazzo, unfortunately. It's hard
She
to,
just came into the company. She has no skin in the game.
and she's not a established name like Monet. Monet has, I hate referring it to it like this, but Monet has main evented a Mania. That means
Yeah.
something. So it's just not her time. So are you in agreement with me, Dave or Chad? Are you all in on Toni Storm?
Oh, totally.
All in. Monet is
Three.
taking that thing at Dynasty.
I don't know if Monet's the next one to take it. I still like the Mariah May story that they're telling, but they're not exactly telling it. So who knows? But
Yeah.
no matter what,
I think Monet is gonna get it at a bigger stage like Wembley or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
we'll see. All right. This would typically end us off, but there's a little bit more of an important match. We have the triple threat for the AEW World Championship. The champion, the Samoan Joseph, is looking to retain against Hangman Adam Page and Swervelin Strickland. So I say we start off with Daver here. What do you think's going to happen? Who do you think? Who do you want?
Okay. I think Joe will retain. But I think we all know what I want. I want
Sting?
Swerve to be the first Black AEW champion, which will still happen,
Yeah.
but it ain't happening here.
Chad, what's your opinion?
Exactly the same.
Dang, 3 for 3 on the exactly the same.
Yeah.
I wanted to go all in on Joe and I wanted to go all in on Swerve, but I think it's just not timed right. So
Well, the purpose of this is, who do you think and who do you want too? It's not. I'm not trying to hedge my points. I think Joe's going to win because I think that they're going to push it down the line and Swerve will get it in a one-on-one match further down the line. But I still want Swerve to win because he's fucking awesome.
yeah, we're so close to that Swerve victory. And it kind of sucks with throwing like Will Ospreay and Okada in this year. Like, I want Swerve to have not a super long reign, but a really good reign.
Should be darn near a year.
Yeah, so I think those two muddle that a little bit, but we're not there yet. We got to have this silly guy win it. But I think we all can agree our prospective main event for the evening, the Young Bucks take on the current tag team champions, Darby and Sting, in Sting's retirement match. Start with Chad on this one.
Whoa. Put me on the spot. Well, I think the only way they're going to do this, especially if it's the main event, they need to send the crowd home happy. And the only way they're doing that is with the Bucks winning. I'm kidding. The Sting. It's got to be Sting.
Are
Sting
you
for
all-
both. Yeah.
You all in? All right,
Yeah.
all in. All right, Daver. This is your big moment. Your big guys' last match. Who do you think will win and why?
There's no way they're sending the crowd home unhappy. He's winning. I want it. I think it. Yeah, there's no way.
Oh, they got
3 points.
They got another way of sending the crowd home happy. Okay, so you're all in on Sting and Darby. I think the Young Bucks are winning here. And I hate saying that, but I think they win it because this is my prop bet. Is this Sting's last match? Because we know wrestling. It's never someone's last match. And I'm telling you my pitch right now. Here's what's going to happen. It's the main event. Tragic. They hit they hit 2 EVP triggers on poor old Sting. He's over. 1, 2, 3. They win. They cheer. They celebrate. They get booed. They're out. Ric Flair picks up the mic. Goes, Finger, we can't let it end like that. We're already in the Greensboro Coliseum. Let's both have our retirement match. Sting wins that.
Ooh.
That is how you send the crowd home happy because he's won his last match. It's just not against the Young Bucks. So I don't think you have to sell a story that long, but that's my prop bet is this actually Sting's last match? My answer, no.
Okay, so the only way to secure the points for that would be for it to be decided that night. Like, you can't be like, is it his last match maybe a month from now or 2 months from now?
I'd
It's
say
got to be resolved.
before we record our review of Dynamite, that's what I would say. Because if they I don't know how they would sell it, but let's say they concerto Sting. I don't know. That seems pretty brutal. Darby's like, that's not it for Sting. Like, let's say they say it on Dynamite for some reason. I think you could hedge it, but like, that's the latest. No, never mind. I would say keep it to the night. So is this Sting's last match, on the night?
I'm going to go yes. There will not be a second Ric Flair impromptu.
Yeah. I think Sting's one of the few people in the business. Like when he first announced it, he's like, I know. Everybody says that they're like going to have their last match, and they never do. I think he's going to be one of the few people that aren't going to get pulled out of it.
I think Ric Flair will be crying too hard. Sting will just chop him once, put him in the death lock, boom, it's over.
Right. He'd chop Flair in the chest, and Flair just starts gushing blood out of his head.
Yeah. I don't think this match is a match. I don't think it's longer than 90 seconds. I think it's an angle to send the crowd home happy because the Young Bucks are winning. That's why I think it's happening. But that makes sense why you guys don't think it's happening, because you're predicting that Sting and Darby win, which is fine. They very might as well. It's what I want to happen.
I want them to retire the belt, or not retire the belts, but vacate the belts while they're on top. And we got Lex Luger in the ring, Paul White, Diamond Dallas Page, Ric Flair, Steamboat. We're going to get a big surprise. Haha, after all, Kevin Nash is here.
And Triple H too.
Triple H let him.
No, Triple H is there too.
Yeah. Six could be there.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. He's not exactly tight with WWE anymore. Hulk Hogan, brother.
Never Hogan.
Oh yeah,
Never
he's one of
gonna
the
happen.
few that's banned. Him and his wife, I forgot.
Yeah, I'm sure he who shall not be named is banned without
No.
being said.
He's got no. Are you talking about the tippy top guy or the UFC guy?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
that guy
tippy
was
tippy.
never, ever, ever. Well, that guy doesn't even like Sting, so why would he?
Nope. Yep.
Exactly. He booked Sting to lose at Mania, the only Mania he was at. Like, I liked Sting's run in WWE as bad as it was, but that is so like
Awful.
dumb. That is peak WWE dumb booking, and it's
That's
why.
peak because they had to destroy anything WCW. That was
Well,
something they couldn't let go.
they have an okay excuse. It didn't work out because they were like, oh, they're going to do Rock and Triple H at WrestleMania 32, and then The Rock was like, oh, I just don't want to do that. So it makes sense in WWE's mind, but it appealed to zero fans. Zero fans liked that result. So what's the bigger thing here, right? Is it next year's WrestleMania or is it pleasing the fans? I would say pleasing the fans.
Mm-hmm.
But that's enough WrestleMania talk. This has been our Revolution predictions. Any other prop bets? Any other things that might happen? I mean, I'm sure we'll get a couple pre-0 hour matches. They could even throw another match on the card. We only have one women's match at all, so
Yeah.
Yeah, Sting and Darby will probably go pretty long. Yeah, we'll still get a 4 hour long pay-per-view out of it with only 9 matches. I'm sure Danielson Eddie should probably it'll probably go pretty long.
I would expect the
Um,
triple threat to go long too.
Yeah. So yeah,
Takeshita
lot of
Osprey could go an hour, like easily.
That'll just be their warm up. They're actually the entire pre-show will just be when the actual match starts, and then it spills into the pay-per-view for the last hour of their match.
They're like, sorry guys, we try to keep stopping this match. They keep going. We rang the 60-minute timer bell. They just keep going. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, they just won't stop.
We tried the refs. Hobbs ate them all. I don't know what. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, that man, kind of laying it all out like that. This is gonna be a great pay-per-view. I like the build to it. Everything has meaning. Everything, maybe other than the 8-man scramble. Everything has some stakes and drama, story behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that, it's a future shot at a title, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope.
This is how they get Wardlow that match, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm fine with it. I like Wardlow. I'm excited for him. So, anything else we want to talk about, boys, for this predictions? I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think short and sweet. It's good to have a quick one every now and then.
Yeah. Don't forget to elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button,
Brother.
and leave us a comment. We really value your feedback. Let us know how we're doing. Hopefully you enjoyed our prediction video. I know we did. And we're going to enjoy the Fallout prediction video even more because we're eating some last dab, right?
Is that what we settled on? I thought that was for 250.
Ooh, I don't think we have
What are we doing?
we got I was thinking of one the other day. The loser has to do like 2 podcasts with their face painted.
I was going to paint my face for the Revolution review.
Yeah, that's not much of a punishment. Maybe like I would say you got to go to work with face paint, but you guys work in kitchens. That wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just double dose
grocery shopping with face paint.
Ooh, too. How would we'd have to have someone film that.
Right.
Yep.
We could just double dip on the double dab, you know?
Oh yeah.
Losers
That's a good
just
one.
have to take a wing or a chip of the dab anyways, and then we all just do it for 250 subs for fun.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Uh,
I mean, I think the stuff's delicious, so I will.
You'll get a
wanna
good
lose.
reaction out of me.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Nuts anymore. Oof.
Cool. Yeah. All right. We've got a punishment. We've got our review done. Yeah. All we have left is getting through one more collision and watching a pay-per-view. I guess a Rampage too.
Oh man, how am I gonna? I think I'm gonna have to stack collision right before the pay-per-view. That's gonna be a long ass day.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Are they airing collision at the normal time? I know they pre-taped it.
Ooh, I don't know.
From what I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. But cool. Yeah, gentlemen. Good prediction video. Yeah, we'll see who wins it. Cool. Yeah, I think that just about does it, right?
Yeah, I was just kind of gloating because I'm the only guy who's got Takeshita to win it all, baby. That's going to be the point breaker. But
Yeah.
thank you all for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos. We have tons of audio-only options. If these are too long for you, we have short-form videos with top fives and histories of. Make sure to check them all out. And thank you for joining us, boys. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.